Thanks for joining me on the CALMstream for Comic Book Odyssey on April 24, 2024. Something had me interested in starting the CALMstream early today for some reason. I usually warm up when I first wake up after I've gotten my coffee around 4:30 a.m. and then start the CALMstream at 5. And I listen to the Rosary prayers in Gregorian chant form in the Latin language. Really helps me become calm and set the tone for the day. So I'm warmed up. I'm gonna draw another figure here and maybe fix up a figure, do some details, and a bit later we'll talk about the CALMstreams and the internet and the future of Comic Book Odyssey. I've been doing a lot of thinking about it. I'm going to keep it going, but there's going to be some changes happening. Healthy, good changes. I enjoyed these warm-ups. I was trying to do the Bridgman method. Drawing the body as connected solid objects really helps with perspective and foreshortening. I feel they came out good. Let's go. This is a good posture for that police officer there. But I won't draw him straight center because that'll make him feel like he's the most important character. So we're going to draw him off center here and a little bit further back. I saw there were a few chats there from Mr. Life. I am going to read them, but just a bit later. Just going to get this figure down while I'm warmed up and concentrated. I just learned that the word for an autopsy for an animal is a necropsy. I think. And this does get done by veterinary pathologists. I'm just looking that up to make sure the scene makes sense. Okay. Hello, Mr. Life. I'm hydrated and moisturized. And you? I am hydrated and moisturized. Weather report from the other side of the country. It's nice and sunny here. So I'll spend the afternoon outside. Great. All right. So let's talk comic book odyssey. Let's talk business. Come on. So, you were mentioning selling artwork after I'm famous. You know, I've been thinking a lot about that. You know, not, well, fame indirectly, but more like attention. Been thinking about the internet and what I'm doing there. And what the internet is for. I've been thinking a lot about it for a long time. But the events surrounding the tragic death of Ed Piskor a couple weeks ago. If you don't know about it, I'm not going to go into the details here. It's not really it's not the right venue for it. But if you want to find out what happened to Ed Piskor after the stream, just search his name, Piskor, Ed Piskor. And, you know, exercise your better judgment and your discretion, because as with any controversy on the internet, you know, there are anyway, you know how it works. But it really underlined for me a truth that I was aware of, that the internet is a pretty amazing thing, but it's also a very dangerous thing. So what is the correct way of using the internet in such a way that it does not use you. So my intent, as an example with the CALMstreams, was to just draw and put it out there and create internet content that specifically kind of goes against what the algorithm is looking for. The algorithm wants attention-grabbing content. The algorithm wants attention and wants to create addicts. Because it feeds on attention. It needs attention to clicks, for ad sales, for influence, for persuasion. And the algorithm doesn't just want users that are addicts, it wants creators that are addicted to attention as well, because then creators furiously, voraciously create content for free that the machine profits from. So it really is this desperate, greedy cycle of attention. So I've been thinking about attention. Like, what is it? What is attention? And to be intentional about attention. Like, where do you put your attention? And you know, one way to, when it comes to addiction, one way to think about it, there's a lot of like mind tricks we play on ourselves that have been played on us regarding things that we compulsively do. One way to think about that is if you go back in time to the moment where you were first introduced to what you were addicted to. And I'm thinking about myself here. Like the internet, for instance. If you could go back in time and change that moment where you were first introduced to that thing you were addicted to, would you? And if the answer is yes, that means you don't really want that thing. So you're compulsively consuming that thing that you don't want. So you're mind control into doing something you actually don't want. If I could go back in time and like flick the switch that says, okay, if you flick the switch, you never create any online accounts. You never go on social media. You just keep living your life unaware of this internet machine thing. Would you? And in a heartbeat, I would. I would definitely flick that switch. So that means I don't really want to be on social media. I don't really want to be on the internet like this. So why am I? Right? There are some things about the internet that I think are good. I like hanging out with my brother in the morning, being in contact with my family on the other side of the country. I think that's a good thing. But there are ways of doing that without broadcasting. These live streams can be set to private. I've felt myself like, it's funny because I do content. I started saying this. I got sidetracked. I've created content that is explicitly designed to be uninteresting to the algorithm, right? Because it's it's not like attention grabbing. It's ignorable, and it's kind of boring to a lot of internet users that are looking for excitement and short attention span type of stuff. But I've noticed my subscriber count go up and up and up and up, and the view count go up a little bit. And I was thinking, like, why does the algorithm care? Because this is supposed to be like uninteresting to the algorithm. And I thought, I wonder if it's because I'm new. The algorithm is putting me in front of people, or maybe even bots, not to be too conspiracy theorist or suspicious, just to give me that sense of like, oh, the channel is growing, isn't that exciting? And then to like just make me excited about the channel. And then like I get like addicted to creating content, and then I start chasing the clicks, so I started wondering, is this some sort of insidious way of trying to get me sucked into the machine? And even if it isn't, then if it's by accident, then it's maybe that's built into the program or something, right? And so it just got me thinking how I want to be careful about this, what kinds of rules I want to put. These are just thoughts. I'm not doing anything drastic yet. Someone on Substack, I posted on Substack about this. And someone on Substack said, well, it's tempting to just do monk style and retreat for 15 years and then emerge with a body of work. But that's not how it works now. You got to market yourself, and if you want to be successful, then I'm thinking like, well, what is success? How do I measure that? And I don't know that success for me is necessarily, being famous. I don't think that's what I want. I think I just want to tell stories and complete, just complete the project. That's success to me. It's success to me that my brother on the other side of the country listens to this every morning. I mean, what an honor, what a privilege. Like, why would I want to be famous? I already got something pretty great. I don't know. These are just thoughts I'm having, right? So I don't want to do something. Oh, well, I had the thought about it, these things, and all of a sudden I changed the whole model, and then I regret it, right? But I am going to keep thinking about this and be serious about whether I continue Comic Book Odyssey online or not, and if I do, how I do it. I think the podcast is going to go. I like those guys, Mr. Leon and Gamma. The nice guys are fun to talk comics with. But the way that started was that we were just on Discord randomly and we would talk comics. And we turned this into I turned this into a podcast. And I don't know, it's kind of tainted it a little bit. It's less fun. We got a schedule, and then the YouTube is cranky. It doesn't like the way I'm streaming. It's not enough bitrate or whatever, right? And then it's not, at that point, it's not guys hanging out. It's like this enterprise, and it's not what it's about for me. So I can keep hanging out with them without broadcasting it, right? You know, you gotta be careful to not get sucked into this ambition game. You gotta remember what really matters. You know, family. God, if you're a believer. Your community. Your friends. Your craft. You know, how much time am I going to spend on marketing that I could be spending on drawing, right? You know, I got the advice once from somebody to always make the main thing the main thing. Remember what the main thing is. And when you're not doing the main thing, then you're not doing it right. And the main thing isn't marketing comics. The main thing is making comics. In terms of like this comic book. I don't mean life. There are bigger things in life than making comics, but in terms of this project, right? The main thing is making the comics, not marketing them and getting famous for them. And I think a lot of this internet stuff, like this internet hunger, has to do with, we want love, we want connection, or maybe I'm just speaking for myself, right? Life's becoming increasingly lonely, and we're isolated from other people. I think the lockdowns had a lot to do with that, and just those events caused people to be scared of each other, suspicious of each other. It caused a breakdown in trust. Or maybe that's just something that's happening in general. I don't know, but I get that sense that people are disconnected a lot more than I remember from a time from before the internet. And I think a lot of this anxiety we have, attention-seeking anxiety, is related to, this feeling of alienation and of disconnection from our communities, and we panic. We want love, and we go get it where people are. People are on the internet. But this is the calm stream. The calm, I mean it. It's sincere, the whole calm thing. And when you're dealing with something so serious as, resolving this sense of being unloved or sense of being lonely or something like that, you gotta remain calm. You can't panic and just, okay, well, I'll plug in and that'll resolve my issue, right? That's, you don't want to make yourself vulnerable and be exploited by people who are malevolent or just self-interested and will use your sense of disconnection, to their advantage. And there's also the time factor. I mentioned that before. Time spent on the internet is time I could spend, going out in the woods. There's only a certain amount of time in life, right? We know that. It's good time I could spend reading books I've been wanting to read. It's time I could spend with my wife. It's time I could spend with my friends and my family, insofar as that's possible, right? Anyway, a bit of a ramble. I'm putting this on camera because I might clip this if I do make some big changes to the Substack, and I might clip this and put it up, because I've created a system where there are a few people who are kind of like expecting these things, right? So I don't want to dishonor that unspoken agreement we have. Mr. Life, for me, you're all I got for family. I've always been with strangers, with the family I have. Yeah, so, I know you're my brother. For those who don't know and are listening to this, Mr. Life is my brother, and we had a strange family situation. No need to discuss details here. But yeah, it's a tough situation and bizarre situation. So that factors into me thinking about all this too, Things went the way they went, but we have now that we can do something with. And, you got to make sure day by day by day by day that you're doing what you really desire with what you got. It's a matter of gratitude too. If you're a believer, which I tend to be, then life is a gift. You didn't do anything how many hours did you work in order, to have life? you know, how much did you pay to have it? It just happened, right? And there's got to be some gratitude, an attitude of gratitude regarding that tremendous gift. That's extremely difficult, man. Extremely difficult. I'm speaking for myself here. So easy to, instead of being grateful, to be bitter and greedy and selfish. And so there's a certain, if the internet is more of a, or whatever it is more of a distraction that causes you to not really think the way you really think. Better to tear out your eye and throw it out than have it cause you to stray from the path, so to speak. So anyway, those are my thoughts. Thanks for listening to them. Appreciate it. Again, nothing sudden. I'm not going to do anything sudden about all this. Yeah. I'm not going to do anything sudden because I want to make sure that I'm doing what I really want to be doing. So I gotta keep thinking about it. I'm not gonna swim today because I don't know, something wrong with my shoulder, but I will go to the recreation center. Maybe just use the steam room, or might just go for a bike ride. Do some kind of exercise. Mr. Life, don't think for a second. If you want to clip it, clip it. Well, by clipping it, I mean like taking a section out of the video and using it for other purposes. Don't think for a second that this is a need. I can just call if I wish to speak. Yeah. Well, I like streaming directly to you, and that's definitely something that's possible. I can put this stream on private and send you the link, and we can hang out, just you and me, right? Or if we want to do it once in a while on like a call, we can just call and we can hang out and talk, and I can draw. So yeah, there's lots of ways of doing this. I have options. So, all right, we're going to end it. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Have a good day.